Hello class, welcome back to the Chong channel. Right now we're going to learn about how to simplify radicals. So before we even start, we got to review some vocabulary words. So the first vocabulary word we're going to go over is something called the perfect square. So what are perfect square numbers? Well, for me, I think of it very simply as perfectly the same two numbers multiplied to give you a perfect square. So for example, you need to memorize the following: 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. Obviously, there are many more, but these are the first few that you should memorize. So once again, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. Just a quick review. Well, how do we get 4? 2 times 2 gives you 4. How do we get 9? 3 times 3 is 9. So these are perfect squares because perfectly the same two numbers multiply to give you a perfect square. Okay, so now let's proceed. Right now we wanted to simplify in radical form, or they might say solve the square root and leave your answers in simplified radical form. Whatever they call it, I call this like number jail. Now, what do you mean? Well, our goal is to free the numbers. Everybody repeat after me. Free the numbers. So our goal is to free as many numbers, but this is the catch. You need to be a perfect square for you to be free. All right, so first of all, let's solve here. Let's break down the number 8. What two numbers multiply to give you 8, but there's a perfect square in it? Well, the only possibility is 4 times 2. So what I like to do is I like to keep the perfect square number first. So 4 times 2 is 8. Now, let's think about this. What is the square root of 4? The square root of 4 is 2 because 4 is a perfect square. Sorry, let me change this color. It's kind of blinding me. So once again, the square root of 4 is 2, so 2 comes out. So let's think of this like jail situation. So 4 made some past mistakes, and so 4 was in jail. So when you come out of jail, you got to change. So 4 used to be 4, and now when he comes out, he's a 2. All right, let's proceed. So now let's look at this 2 here. Is 2 a perfect square? No. Can you break down that 2 any further? No. So 2 stays inside. So when we were asked to simplify square root of 8 in simplified radical form, we got 2 square root of 2. Okay. Let's continue to the next example. So once again, our goal is to free the numbers. So which of these perfect squares multiplies to give you 72? Well, it is of your best interest to pick the biggest possible perfect square, and the biggest possible perfect square possible would be 36 times 2. So let me write this down. So it's 36 times 2. Now, the square root of 36 is 6. So once again, 36 made its mistakes and was incarcerated. But what's the square root of 36? 6. So when he comes out, he's a new number. Okay, so now let's continue. The 2 inside, is that a perfect square? No. Can this be broken down anymore? No. So 2 stays inside. So square root of 72 reduced or simplified in radical form is 6 square root of 2. Okay, one last example. So once again, our goal is to free the numbers. So what is the largest possible perfect square number here will multiply to give me 98? Well, let's think about it. The last one was 36 times something. So since this is a bigger number, let me see if 49 times something gives you 98. And it does. Okay, so let's set this up. 49 times 2 gives us 98. And so once again, 49 is a perfect square. What's the square root of 49? 7. Oh, that's blinding. Sorry. Okay, so once again, the square root of 49 is 7, so 7 comes out. Can I free this 2? Nope, so 2 stays inside. It just so happens that all of these examples, square root of 2 was our final part to the answer, but it's okay. It's not always going to be the case. So I hope that helps. So when you're dealing with solving quadratic equations and you have to simplify your answers in radical form, you would use this concept. Or when you're dealing with completing the square, same idea, you need to keep your answers in simplified radical form. This is what you're using. Okay, I hope this helps.